Okay, well, we get the message, and people are here, so he's all sweaty. This week I started off with the glove again because I saw on the feed somebody was saying, don't need a glove, technique. And I say, technique and a glove. It's a reoccurring issue running a beginners group where we advocate the safety aspect. Now, I use a glove when I carve because I have cut myself. Now, there's a couple of things I do want to discuss about gloves. Right now, so we've got a percentage of the group that decide that techniques is enough to save you. Now, the glove isn't a fix, if you like. They're saying that people that use gloves get lazy because they've got the glove to rely on, and I disagree with that. I still advocate teaching good techniques, carving away from yourself the majority of the time. Yeah, there are a few times where you've got to carve towards yourself. Make sure you've got your thumb out of the way, maybe a thumb guard if you do that. The thumb guard is not going to stop you if you are putting too much pressure on cutting the wood. The whole technique thing is using your offhand. I'll say that because I'm right-handed and I wear the glove on my left hand. I say that because with the glove on, I have touched the glove more than once, and I do use good techniques. Now, pushing too hard, you've got to use your offset thumb to lever the knife blade through. So your fingers and everything else should be out of the way because you're behind the blade, pushing the blade. Now, I know that most of you, the core members, know this, but we do have a few people. Put a glove on that soldier, absolutely. We do have a few people that are in the group that advocate not using one. Okay, if they don't want to use one, that's fine. Plain and simple. If you choose not to use a glove, it's on you. If you cut yourself, we don't want to see the pictures. But if you're training somebody up that's younger, like your child or a grandchild, finding a glove that fits, that's a hard one for small hands, but they do make them. The argument comes up now, as we are a safety first group, then well, absolutely no need for seatbelts. Well said. G'day, David. Yeah, it's a glove is going to give you more protection than no glove. It's just that simple. Now, somebody was talking about holding their carving between their legs. Now, I have never discussed the triangle of death, as it's so called. You've got all of seriously large veins in your legs that are arteries, main arteries. You don't want to cut them. So holding a carving between your legs is tantamount to being not safety conscious at all. If you slip, glove how you glove me, absolutely. Yeah, if you, oh good, g'day Hannah. Yeah, if you slip, then you've got those major arteries in your legs. Now, do it in your hand with no glove on rather than put the bloody thing between your legs, because that is as dumb as fuck. Oops, I did say that. I'm sorry. I meant that's just a tad silly to hold between your legs, because if you do slip and you've got major veins, the triangle of death is called because between your legs is more than one major artery. Oh, that looked like Sharon. So don't hold a carving between your legs. Please do not carve on your legs, because those knives are sharp. You're not got a glove on your legs. You're not wearing protective pants. Ow! Psst, psst, psst. Wish I had the special effects for that. I should have bought the sauce and the femoral artery. Well done. Yeah, like if I'd have had a tube of sauce, tomato sauce, I would have gone and you would have seen the red go, because that's what can happen. It's not something that I've mentioned before, because it's advice that you give to children more than anything else. So putting something between your legs, please don't do that. For the $20 it costs for a vice, not advice, the vice, a universal vice costs you under 20 bucks. It's worth it. Much better to hold it in a vice than bleed out. Simple. But anyway, that because I reread that today, chaps, I mean, we could be silly. Oh my God, what an evening. Sorry I'm late. Hi all, and someone send Cole a Band-Aid quick. No, I use the super glue. Ta-da! In fact, behind me, this is how conscious I am of the potentiality of cutting. I don't just have one spare super glue. Now, why do I buy them in these rather than in the big bottle? Well, one, these are only Australian $1.55 for 6 tubes. I ended up buying 42 tubes for about 10 bucks, which is about the same price as the bottle of super glue. Yes, there's a hassle because I have to pierce everyone, but at least this way, when I get the super glue open, if it has sealed in the nozzle, I could just grab another one, pierce it, and bingo, I'm ready to seal up any cuts that I do. And talking of cuts, it's not a cut, it's a burn. That's a cut. That was off my scroll saw. This week I've been bitten by both my saws, which is a lesson to me to keep those digits away from the actual blade, and both times it's the same reason. The saw has actually pulled my finger in. I wasn't expecting that in both instances. So no, don't put a vice between your legs. Put the vice on a piece of wood. I do carve. My daughter moved it. See, there's mine. My vice is on a piece of wood. That piece of wood protects my legs. So when I carve, I'm not carving on my lap. I'm carving well away from it. And of course, if I'm using good carving techniques, then I'm carving away from myself. And bingo. Let's have a look. Is the logo still available? Do I need to see Pete out there? Yeah, Pete is the man to talk to on that one, David, because we had somebody steal the design. It changed everything. I gave the rights to the logo back to Pete, and if Pete wants to run t-shirts, he can. I did it because having somebody steal the design, kind of while I was in the process of giving them away in a prize, I wasn't expecting Michael Mahar to just take it, and it brought up a few issues. And I talked to Pete, whose design it is, so it went back to yay, welcome Sharon. So it went to I gave it back to Pete, and Pete is dealing with that one because it's his design. I felt that the difficulties in trying to organise it in the States was a little difficult for me here in Oz. So somebody in the States is much better to handle the t-shirt idea, the logo. That's all Pete's department. So sorry about that, Hannah. It sort of changed as we went along, but the t-shirt design is wonderful. Like, I mean, I had to make Pete's work murky so that it wasn't available to just copy. There's not much in this group that is covered money-wise. No sales or advertising or anything like that. So I will be putting forward, when Pete says to me I'm ready to go, then I will be saying in the group, right, the logos are available, see Pete. I've kind of passed the buck on that one. It's just too hard. I want to say, Dwayne and John Thomas, congratulations on winning a hatchet from Beavercraft for your workspace area, and Tonya de Todman, I think it is. Jerry Joe's daughter won one as well, which I was really quite pleased about. And there were a few other members of the group that are members of their group as well that won a hatchet today. So well done on that, you guys. Any tool that you win that's free is a good deal. G'day, you're still in shock, John. G'day, Mandy. Right, okay. We have a new moderator this week. Manda Lee has stepped up and is now helping us with moderation. Not, I don't mean that she's only doing it a little bit. Not that kind of moderation. So she's now one of the moderators alongside Tammy and the rest of the crew. I'm really, 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 really grateful to her to join in on that. It took me several minutes and there seems to be a new way for me to get in. So yes, John, really. Well, I'm aware too that there's a 12-second delay on these lives. It took a while to learn that, and I watched today Irene in Beavercraft have problems trying to do conference. That's something that I'm still trying to look at so that we can do multiple lives or with lives with more than one person. I know how to do it. It means setting my television up behind me, and then that way I can run Zoom or one of the programs that allows us to conference and then have it like in the group. But that's coming. Got some interesting things to do on that one. Yeah, Mandy, it's so good that we've got you. So someone stolen the logo. Sorry for the fusion. Aha, yes. You weren't telling Sharon to get out. No, of course not. Look, that guy went. He didn't go because he stole the idea. He went because he was bragging. Further on, it's like somebody comes into your house and steals your clock off your mantelpiece and then comes in the next time and brags about stealing it. He wore it to the artistry in Woods, and he was not authorized to have one. Now we didn't push it any further. We didn't he got a little bit nasty and said to my daughter, because I had blocked him. He went to my daughter and then said, my carvings are indicative of my impending suicide. Why? Because I make knives. I've got knives behind me. Yeah, right. What would the group do if I buggered off? I mean, Friday Night Live. I love doing these lives. I always look at the lives and go before them, but then once I actually get started and talking to you, it's connecting, and I like that. And I'm wearing my Gotti t-shirt where the elastic's all gone. Let's pull that back so it doesn't look quite so bad. Oh look, that's it. I'm nice and pretty again, as if ever. Blaze is not here today, so unfortunately. Oh, you've only got me. And look, I've got a joint. I mean, a rollie. I mean, a cigarette. Oh, kicking back, man. You know, I always think that in these, that in the background, there should be a little bit of music, but of course, not allowed to. Yeah, I'm not allowed to actually play music in the background. Facebook can recognize that I'm playing music and then not make the video available to other people's afterwards. I have been working this week. I haven't done much in the way of carving. I mean, that's it. I'm making an alien to go with a little spacecraft. I'm doing one of Pete's challenges. So he'll have a dome over his head, and that's the challenge, is to incorporate a dome. So that's what I'm working on with this little fella. He hasn't got face yet. He's just got the bits for the eyes. That's the only carving I've been doing this week because I've been so busy working on Smoking Wacky Packy. Yeah, right. I wish. Can you imagine how stoned I'd be at the end of this? I'd be sitting there going, all right, now, it wouldn't be called alive. It would be called gone. Colin has lost it. Yes. Wow. Thank you, Tammy. It's I'm just fart-arsing around with it. But this week, of course, I've been working on the idea of the raffle, which is soon to come. Oops, got that the wrong way round. I've made up 2 small detailing knives. Yesterday I shaped the blades, but I haven't sharpened them yet. That one's too tight. So yesterday I spent a good chunk of the day, and I don't know whether or not the resolution's good enough. If I get out of that picture, it might focus on the blades. No. Well, at the moment they're I can see all of the scrape marks in the shaping. So there's 2 little palm detailers. They've got, as you can see, that one's got Purple Heart, Osage Orange and Wenge on them, so that will come up nice when they're all polished up. That one there has got the purple running through it, and on the other side it's got 2 woods, orange and paddock on the bottom. So that slowly will be revealed. I'm not sure whether or not I'll resin cogs and things into these. I might. I like the cogs. But 2 more knives. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I've actually got 10 knives. I'll be putting 5 of them into the raffle. It's come up in a couple of things have come up in discussion about the raffle, and that is it's a $2 entry, so $2 gets you in. But then if somebody wants to if somebody wants to buy more than 1 ticket, then that's their choice. Get more chances of winning, I suppose. The shipping will be covered because of the $2 fee in raffling. It will have to be done as a thanks, David. It will have to be done as a gift. I have to write all of this up, and I'm aiming for this December. It may be that the 28th or the 4th is the Friday that covers this, but I think that I might go for the 4th of January for the raffle to be held. That's when we're doing it. If I promise you now, if I end up with more, good day Hilda, if I end up with more money than I anticipate, because 5 knives at $30 shipping, between $20 and $30 shipping, means $150 goes to just shipping alone. Now that's cool because the $2 will cover the bulk of it. Now, if there's a profit, because the raffle is not being done to make me money, it's not made. If there is more money from the raffle, then what will happen is I will either buy blades from reputable knife makers. I'll probably talk to Drake because I like their blades better than I like anybody else's, but there is the chance that I might use a mix of blades, which I will buy if there is money over. That's coming. So if I gain more money, then there'll be other prizes that come up later, probably in January, that I'll turn it around, or there is the potential that I'll go through the wish list and I will find all the people that have been asking for detailing knives because they are an essential part of carving, and I may go through the wish list and pick off a few of those and send them the knives. That way it's a bit hard because they're asking for them, whereas the raffle people are going to win them. And of course I can't, don't get your heart set on one of the particular knives that I'll be putting in, because that may not be the one you win. You might win one of the other ones, but I'm going to try and make them all pretty and all serviceable. Now that last year I made some knives before I even had a flex cut. I made this piece of shit. I mean, I made this. I mean, as you can see, like on my neck, there's actually, you can see it's a reciprocating saw blade. I've resharpened this a little bit since, so it's better than it was when I first made it. But I didn't know a knife from my arsehole, so I shouldn't say that. I didn't know what a knife actually was supposed to look like or how sharp they were until I got the flex cuts. Now, of course, the flex cuts are quite good. I like them, and then I got a Helvey, and I like the Helvey more than the flex cuts, and then I got a Drake, and that sort of pushed Helvey back into the same sort of category as I consider with flex cut. I prefer Drakes to anything else, but that's I'm not affiliated with Drakes at all. That's just my honest opinion from the knives that I've tried. So I am bringing these up to as close to Drake's standard as possible with regards to sharpness. I've not copied their blade shape. But I am copying the way that they do their bevel, because it's almost got no bevel. It's a slight rounded now. It's easy enough to keep them sharp. The angle is there for the bevel. So what happens if you do have a PayPal? If you do have PayPal, or you don't have money because you have a problem that you can't work, because I would like to enter it. If you want to talk to me, Cole, after FNL, you can. Corey, $2 gets you in. If you don't have PayPal, I will organise, potentially, I'll organise one of the moderators in the States to that has PayPal to accept cash payments of $2. I'm sorry, $2 is something that we can all afford, and that's why I've done this as a $2 raffle, is because the $2 is so small, but they all mount up, and if they cover the $150 shipping, I'm making the knives and giving them away. So $150 worth of shipping for the knives, it's a bit unfair for me to wear on top of making them all and giving them away. So Corey, that's we'll sort that out, and yes, I'll have a chat with you. Anybody have the bar of soap? No. Okay. G'day, Rob. Well, thanks for joining us. Now, so that all of that. One of the things that Facebook has rules with regards to raffles, and that means I have to write up who can enter, what countries they can enter, what age group are valid to enter. That's just because Facebook have some rules with regards to raffles. It's to not make a profit. So it's not my intention to go, oh look, I've made $50 for me, woohoo! That's not what I'm going to do. If I make $50, well then that's 2 blades. If I can put in blades that I haven't made, they take time to make them. But within the group, we have given a file of how to make your own knives. Bits of this have been filmed. I haven't been as good with the camera as I should have been, so that you all get to see exactly how they get thrown together. The knives will be as quality as I can. They'll all have blade covers that match the style of the knife, so that they look pretty, but they'll travel well. They won't bite you when you undo them. And of course, you'll have the knife, detailing knife, and blade cover. So I think that's I'd like to win them. There's part of me that says, oh, I've made them, I don't want to give them away. This is how the I don't know how. I did notice when I was watching live in Maniacs today that the quality of film is not what I see here. It's often lesser, but that is what the resined woods end up looking like, the ones I popped in the resin. I discovered that I overdid it with the resin. I didn't need to go that far, but I now have the colors, as you can see, are interesting batch of colors. I haven't shaped that one. I got inside, I'd done all the shaping, I came inside and went, damn it, I forgot to sharpen that bloody one. That's going to be a very, very small detailing knife, i.e. that's the length of the blade. It's like 3/4 of an inch. So it's a short, real get in there detailing knife instead of the bulbous one at the back. They look pretty. They've got 7 or 8 different woods that match and marry my face chart over there. I've got the faces in, and it's the same wood. So when you get one of these, they're actually connected historically wise, my history. They're connected to all of my woods over there, and a circular saw that ended up cutting so many of these woods. I was a good boy. I went out and I bought replacement blades for my saw, even though it says circular saw. I've got a couple of new blades. These were 15 Australian dollars to buy them. Well, 15 bucks, there's 3 blades in there. Can you imagine how many blanks for blades I could get? I'm quite interested. I like making the knives. It's a holiday away from carving something that is oh, okay, Tammy. Oh, thank you very much. That's really kind. Wow. That is very kind of you, Tammy. But of course, be careful, because how is the blade actually attached to the handle? Okay, I can tell you that in a second. Be careful, Tammy. It's a very kind and generous offer, but with 16,000 people in here, you could be well and truly out of pocket, so be careful. But nice action for our friend Corey. That's very kind of you. How is the blade actually attached to the handle? Well, okay, so firstly, a lot of these are my knife blanks. I have, as you can see, I've taken too much out on that one. That was actually a failure. But as you can see, I've used my router and I've routed out a space. Then I get, I don't know if this one will fit. That's a dodgy blade, because when I cut it, I got too many lines. So that's actually a reject. But that fits inside there like that. And is epoxy glued in on both sides, so that when I put another piece, oops, over the top like that, both pieces are glued, and the tang goes in far enough that it's not going to lever and break through the knife. And then with another piece over the top, that then glues and holds inside, and it's basically the same way as the knife makers do it. Helveseller kit, which Tammy has put a video up of how to throw in the blades, epoxy them in. So I'm sure Tammy can give us the link to that so that you can see exactly how they're made. We do have a file in the file end, in our files, of how to actually make the blades. And Tammy was kind enough to both do a knife kit from Helvey. She used her own woods to show how a knife is put together. She used their blades and her own wooden handles. Then at a later date, she used their handles for a different blade, one that she made herself. Tammy has been really good with videos. Like, she's done a how to make bee butter that's currently sort of floating around in the group. Tammy has gone way out of her way to make sure that this year videos have been covered. That she's done so many videos this year that look in our directory, and you'll get a link to her 10 or 12 videos. How to make bee butter. There's the recipes are in the group under certain people that made the bee butter, and which way they've done it. And Tammy has done the same, of actually showing us how to make it. So thank you for that, Tammy. Really appreciate it. I'm so grateful for I have to say, the moderators in this group are just, they blow me away. Like, they are so in line with what the group needs, and they're busy running around making sure that any conversations that get out of hand get moderated. We police the feed. The moderators in this group, I couldn't ask for a better team. They're wonderful. They're like family within family. I do have a rough idea. No, you haven't particularly. You don't have PayPal. We'll try to get it several years ago, but forgot the password. Okay. PayPal is probably the one that we have most. I don't know if you can, without using PayPal, use a credit card or something like that and PayPal. I'm not sure. That's going to be something I guess we find out. But like I said, I mean, we can organise a moderator that if you send cash to them, they can then update me on details, send me the money, and I can write the name and stuff on the raffle tickets, which I still have to buy. I haven't got them yet. They will be coming, so that I've got it all together for December. and then we'll have the raffle running through and 5 knives. Now, Tammy has also offered her oak knife, so there'll be 5 knives of mine and 1 of Tammy's. So I've got the lights over. I have this one's a detailing knife, and this one you see here. I've got a couple of pieces of wood. That's the matching set for this particular detailing knife, which is a bit longer than the rest of them. But one of the prizes, oh, there goes my lighter. One of the prizes will be a rough out knife, that one, and a detailing knife. So there'll be one prize that's a double prize, and that'll be like the main prize. Will be 2 blades. I've got a little bit more polishing to do, but that one has a bent finger matching. That one will have a matching blade cover as well. So that will be one as a set. So there'll still be 5 prizes. That's being one of them, and the rest of them will just be detailing knives. And you guys get to win those. It's different from a competition like we've had before, so that you don't have to actually carve anything. You don't have to already have knives to and you can restructure it. Yes, absolutely, Josh, good idea. Way to go. Tammy's video is the reason I done the ball in the cage. Absolutely wonderful, Tina. Thank you, Josh. I think I will, because I tried and they wouldn't accept me because of the password problem. Yeah, that is an issue. I think that Pete Martinez had that issue as well. That's partially why the t-shirts have been delayed. Tammy's videos are different from mine. I speed mine up because I anticipate the time. So I try to do videos in under 5 minutes, but it might be 15 minutes of actual work or 20 minutes of work. Tammy's videos are very, very easy to follow, and she's tackled some things like the ball in the star. Jeez, wow. I mean, all I can do is commend her on that, because I haven't done one. I don't really want to do one because they look hard, but she tackled it and spat it out as a video, and a little bit of editing that between the 2 of us that we did, and bingo, there's a dozen videos that Tammy made. How good's that? Like, as a moderator, as admin, I look down at the crew. As captain, I look at the crew that I've got, and I said that I wanted moderators to be able to do more than the Facebook request for moderators, and that's caused some issues with previous mods. And now, of course, we've got a family team. Both Dwayne and Manderley are covering moderating, so that's really, I can't thank them enough. Tammy doing the videos and stuff. I get a lot of people saying to me, "Oh, it's great what I do," but then I look at what the moderators do and I think, geez, they outshine me in so many ways. Glad the cat's all right, Brett. Yeah, so I could sit here and sing their praises all day long because they do so much. I'm so grateful to the moderators because we're all volunteers. Nobody gets paid for doing this. Even when we run a raffle, it's not so that we make money, it's so that the group gains more. I went through and had Beavercraft giving us prizes. They've now gone on to do that in their own group. Good on them. Taught them a pretty good way of doing things. They started their own group to do that, and they're over 1,000 people now. So well done, Beavercraft, for attending what people want. 10 people today want a hatchet through them now. I don't have a knife making company behind me. As we've said, I think Sharon said last week or the week before, it's not about what you get for free, but hey, if you can get something for free, why not? It saves paying for it, and if you really like the tool that you get, then you can look for betterments. So you don't have to, but you can. Showing Beavercraft that was an alternative way to get known worked very well. In fact, it worked so well that we kind of now lost Beavercraft as a donator. I was thinking about I might approach some of the knife makers for a Christmas giveaway, but I don't know. I mean, I came round to the idea that making my own knives and making art pieces of these knives rather than just normal conventional knives was something pretty and something that I made. What could be wrong with my gouge? I sharpen it and I can't get it to cut now. You maybe the wrong angle, Corey. Sharpening gouges is not easy. You've got the slips drop. I dropped mine somewhere. I knew I would need it. I'm going down. Hello. Sorry about this. I seem to be a bit short. I'll be back in a minute. I'm just popping out. Oh, why did it all fall? Oh no, there's the packaging, but it's not in there. It means it fell out. Oh. Oh, is that the... Have I got the compound? Have I got the compound? Yeah, I've got the compound. Yeah, well, hey, look how red I went. It's a long way to the shop if you want to rock and roll. A sausage roll. Right, now. Okay. Oh, I've gone blurry. Here you go. I haven't got the camera tracking me, so I'm not going over here and over there. Okay, Corey. If you find that your gouge has gone blunt, you've got one of these, then get your compound. Put your compound in there. It's all about the angle. If it's a small enough gouge, like since talking to you, I've looked at this, and that only needs a small amount of wobble. Only needs a small amount of wobbling as you drag it down and through. But because that's the right shape, you can keep your fingers out the way. A little bit of curl to it. I've actually bought that nice and shiny. Now that's too small for that. That's sharp again. So try it in there. It's worked for me. You can curl it and twist it as you do it, but it's all about maintaining the angle that the gouge sits on there. I'm sorry that you may have blunted or you've rounded over the end. It's very easy to do. Excuse me. Okay, it's mine. Now that I'm glad. Thank you for asking for that, because it meant I got my own. I'm sorry that it's gone that way. I'm not right. I have never. Oh, okay. You've got different strop. Then the right angle when turning it with a slight drag on it is what you're going to have to do, and sharpening. He lost the captain. Sharpening gouges is probably, it's that much harder than sharpening knives, but once you get the knack for it, then you'll be able to maintain. I'm sorry that you lost the edge. It does happen. You'll just have to continue trying to sharpen it to get it sharp, and then if not, then we'll have to find you somebody local that can sharpen it for you. We'll have a look. Okay. Was there anything else that I needed to cover? Bee butter, gloves, raffle. No, I can't think of anything. Oh, I've gone quiet for a change. I ain't right. You're definitely right. I ain't right. I made coffee too early. I haven't got blaze. Well, sucks to me, man. So what have you guys been up to this week? Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you had good food. I had soup, tomato soup, and a couple of bits of toast. That was my Thanksgiving dinner because we don't do Thanksgiving here. But then I tend to only eat chicken anyway, so a bit difficult. But I see from the different feeds, and because I've got some friends that are within the group, I have seen on my Facebook feed some of you been putting up your food that you've made, and that you've sat down and eaten, and you've all got a food hangover because it's good to eat food. Those damn Pilgrim Fathers. That's their fault for bringing up Thanksgiving. We don't have it. In fact, we don't have anything like it. Even Christmas is off because our Christmases are like 100 degrees. It doesn't feel right having a hot Christmas. Food coma. Why be normal? That's no fun. Dead right, Tammy, dead right. Look, if I wasn't right, I couldn't do this. If I was right, because I would be going, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't think that's happened very often to me. I don't know why. Always been a chatty fellow. So yes, you've had Thanksgiving this week. Yesterday, in fact, you're working on a big spoon. Excellent. I've seen a couple of the other ones you've done from when you first joined us, Corey, to now. I mean, your advancements and your skill levels have increased. I look forward to seeing your spoons because I remember your first ones. It's something that's something that we talked about. We're going to have a Throwback Thursday. So that's an opportunity for members. How much I love pumpkin pie. I love it. Yes, Christmas. We're going to have late Thanksgiving and early Christmas, giving my sister and brother carvings I made. Nice. That's part of the reason why we do like carving, is because we give our gifts away to family members, and they cherish them. We do have in December coming up. We've got the Santa Challenge because it's the right time. Tammy did a spiral hollow ornament that hangs from a tree. That's another one that's you'll be seeing in December, and there are a few others like elves on shelves, reindeers, nativity scenes. That's what we're going to be wanting to see in December, because that's the tradition for December. Going to my sister tomorrow. Yeah, working on Christmas ornaments for people in the family. Good one, Sharon. Hey, look, your Santas that you're putting up, I mean, they're to die for. They're really, really, really good, Sharon. I know, like I said on one of them, that your dad would be impressed. I'm seriously impressed with what you're doing. I know I'm not your dad. But I know that if I'm shocked by the quality of them, then I know that your dad would be, and I think that you'll get the twinkle in the eye very soon. Your paintings are spot on. You've learnt the skill very, very well. Just stopping in to Chris, hello at the Blue Side. Okay, carving tomorrow. Good on you. Gail Lee joined. G'day, Gail. So yes, we're going to be focusing on some Christmas carvings. It's the joint. It makes my mouth go all funny. Don't look at it. Oh, it's cool now. My joint's gone out. No, I'm having trouble with my joints. Oh yeah, go and see a doctor. No, it's the rolling. Yeah, oh well. For those of us that have backaches and back problems and stuff, legalized marijuana will be very, very good for you. It doesn't contain the high, but it does relax the body. So I do hope so many. Oh, look, Sharon, I mean, I understand what it's like to chase a parent that has passed on. And their skill levels and comparing oneself with it. You don't have to compare yourself with your father's works. you just have to do the best that you can do. And he would be going, how did you do that? That is brilliant. That's wonderful. I'm so proud of you. That's excellent. Because we see them and it's like falling over. Brilliant. I look at I've got a very long you are Santa Brett, that's what I call him all the time, the Texas Santa. I look at the carvings and I see when people start, and I have an overview that months and months and months later I can see the comparison with where you were and where you are, and I see a lot of people, their skills adjust constantly because they are practicing and they are part of the group. They see other ideas, that's part of the inspiration side of our group, and they then go on to carve their own versions that are just stunning. It doesn't take long to get a good carving, just practice, of course. And you do well. Now, yeah, a throwback Thursday. I'll design. I was going to do it this week, but because it was Thanksgiving, the doctor told me my joints were stiff. He said I was rolling them too tight. Exactly. Oh, good. EMG for my back Thursday. Ouch. Sorry, Bonnie, to hear that. I suffer with back problems, and I have done for the last 13 years. They're not fun. Pain every day. One learns to live with it, and then one learns to accept that it's there and ignore it as much as possible. And then it's only when it flares up do we complain. Backs. If only I had been warned. 6'2", everything's on the floor. It's only been in the last couple of years that they've brought in safe lifting methods, whereas we didn't get that. We just get it over there, move it, don't complain. But the world has gone a lot more safety conscious now, so that's a good thing. Yeah, Throwback Thursday. What the opportunity is to post one of your old carvings. Now, I'll write it up. The first one that is put your oldest carving and your newest carving as two photos in the Throwback Thursday comment. And that way, not only can you see how far you've come, but the other members of the group can go, wow, that only took 12 months, that only took 2 years, that only took 6 months, that only took 3 months of focusing on. Because when you do focus on and you go, okay, I've got the plan, I've got the design in my head, I know what I'm doing, whether you draw it out or whether or not, like me, I just go, okay, I'm doing something, and I carve until it looks right. I rarely use a plan. I don't often watch other people's videos. I don't follow other people's styles. I'm trying to develop a style that's uniquely mine. And if I branch out, this is me personally, if I branch out and watch other people's videos, then I'm going to be taking on their skill set, and that will influence the type of carvings I do. So I'm not doing that. But then PwC is a lot about my journey, going from the crappiest carving that I did to what I'm doing today. Now, I was lucky because I had power carving behind that, but 12 months ago I turned over to knives and went, right, going right back to basics. I'll do the ball challenge, I'll do the star challenge, I'll do the hearts challenge. I went through most of the beginning units challenges so that I could start back from scratch. I used to do this when I was airbrush painting, was I'd often go, okay, go back to basics, go back to basics. The basics is where you're going to gain your skill level. The basics are, imagine, okay, a ball, it's part of the face, part of the head, it's part of the body. You start getting used to shapes and how to work with the grain, so that instead of chip out, you get carve out. And look, you guys, I mean, it's very, very good to be in a position like me, sitting overview, seeing everybody's carvings develop, seeing everybody doing stuff. I cannot impart just how excited I feel. I guess, like, you can hear it when I do these. I mean, I'm passionate about our passion. I think carving is wonderful. It doesn't answer all the questions of the world, but it certainly gets us together as a family, and peaceful and harmonic, and great fun, and inspirational from other people's carvings. It's not about copying them, it's about the concept itself teaches us and advances our skill set. It's all important. It is. I think it's really important. So yes, 52 minutes. Okay. So we've got the knives coming up next month. If the raffle's a success, then I'll do more of them. Maybe with different things like well, if there's money over, I could do money certificate for people to spend money at, say, Drake's. Just another quick plug for Drake's. Did I say I like Drake blades? I'm sorry to the non-Drake blade makers and to you guys that don't own Drakes, that now that I've found the best one, the best knife makers, because I think that they are, it's good that we know who makes the best knives in the world. They're not the cheapest. That's always the problem. If we are on a budget, Beavercraft at the very bottom, they're the cheapest bunch of knives. Then you got Flexcut, then you got Helveys and Drakes. For me, Helveys are actually more expensive than Drakes because Helvey charge so much shipping, but I'm not going to go into that. Okay, so is there any way I can find out when I joined BWC? Yes, I can tell you straight away when you joined BWC. You ask the right person. Excuse me while I go off screen. Okay, let's have a look in members. That's where I go. And if you just bear with me for a second. Okay, I'm in members now. Bonnie Smith, Bonnie Cooper, Bonnie Paulson. You joined about 4 months ago. It should tell me the exact date, but it's not. It's I can't even tell you who, but about 4 months ago. So what are we? October, September, August. You joined in June, July, Bonnie, or thereabouts. Oh, that's Roxy Music. We can get rid of that now. And there we go. Yeah, so you joined in June, July. Where's your dog? It usually barks at least once during the night. Because my daughter's boyfriend, Duncan, the baker, he is in the front room watching television, and I can hear the television, and if I can hear the television, so will you. So I've actually shut the door, so the dog actually isn't in here, but don't tell her. I really like this group and everyone in it. I'm thankful I found this group. A lot of people lifted my spirit when they were low, because I had a low point. Yeah, look, Corey, I can tell you that you are actually very well liked in the group. We all have a soft spot for you. I love that you ask a question every Friday Night Live. You've got a question for me, and I adore that. You are one of the family, mate, like one of the core members and family, and like Tammy offering to help you out. It's because we love you. It's that simple. What happens in here is it doesn't take long for us to go from liking people to loving people, and that's a really good. Find the members button, enter your name in the search. Okay, look, since the 22nd of July. Thanks, Dwayne. I tried it and it just told me 4 months ago, so we get different views. Okay, well done, Dwayne. Hey everyone. Oh, Brad made it. Sorry I'm late again, but wanted to say hi and thanks for all the wonderful posts this week. Heading back to work. In a few minutes. Hope everyone enjoyed a nice Thanksgiving with family and friends. I'll check out the replay in a bit. We'll have a great weekend, everyone. You too, Brad. You're also one of the family core members. Pulled mine out last night. Oh, you poor bugger. Someone wrote a song about it. Which song, Jace? Come on, give us the song. Because we've got lots of glove songs. 12-second delay, Colin, remember. Time to light smoke. Having watched Beavercraft do their live today, watching them have problems after problems after problems, a restart like live 5 times, I mean, that's really hard, really harsh on them. It's really harsh on the members. Lots of refresh, trying to find a live which hasn't started again. I felt very sorry for Irene today, because she tries to do a good thing, and she was successful for a short while, and then the two people, it's the first time I've seen two people on alive, you have to use an external app to be able to do it. Facebook doesn't cover it, and Facebook is actually they've got money invested in certain apps, and they kind of make it hard for the ones that they don't have money in, because it's their format, and their yeah, oh look, their Friday Night Live was painful. I felt so sorry for her. What, you've got to practice these things. Yeah, like you have to have a fake group, and you have to practice these things to make sure that you can iron out all the glitches. I don't find that sitting in front of you and saying nothing for 30 seconds, it's not cricket. It's not good entertainment, unfortunately. Later on, being able to watch them, there's 5 to watch or 4 to watch, something like that. I felt so sorry for her today. But Dwayne and John both won a hat trick. Yay! So did Jerry Joe's daughter, which I felt very, very happy for Jerry Joe's daughter, that she won a hat trick as well. I mean, how much you'll use a hatchet is it's good to have one. Especially if you want to make spoons. Why aren't there any Mac knives? Someone wrote a song about Mac the knife. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Blue Eyes sang it. Oh, come on, Colin. One of the most famous people in history, Frank Sinatra. That will do. He sang Mac the Knife. I tried to watch it, but it kept freezing up. Yeah, it was a problem. You're welcome, John. I'm glad to see you won something. Good to see you, Ned, as always. Yes, it's the countdown. We're a minute and a half to my hour of power on Friday Night Live. If I had power, I would bloody use it. Instead, I ain't right. Okay, look, I'm going to call it quits for this week. Having a good CPU is the main thing. Also, good internet connection helps. Sorry, it didn't work out for her. I'm sad. G'day, Carl. Good, well done on your exhibition. I was proud to see that, and I wish I could have been there. I really do. I get back. Sorry, I had to get kids to bed, and they wanted a story. Okay, I'll have to record you one, John. I'll happily do that, like singing Der Glumph. Hopefully they liked that song. I sang to John Thomas's Twins. What can I say? I'm just one of those guys. I'll never get away with it. My singing was shockingly bad, but I sped it up so it sounded more like a chipmunk singing. Good fun. Now, looking forward to this week. The raffle will all be announced as next week. I'll have all of the rules that Facebook demand that I have. That'll all happen. We'll start dealing with the problems with the ones that don't have PayPal. If you don't have it, consider it, because it's probably the best way to deal with money on the internet. I like PayPal. It serves me well. Oh, they loved it. Excellent. To Sila and Simon, be good for Papa. Send more. Okay, I can do that. I know a few. Right, everybody, thank you very much. Oh, don't do that. Thank you very much. It's not that I've got a complex about not having any hair. It's because my hat is iconic, and I like going, I'm Australian, I'm not right. I will see you guys on the feed. Get the carvings in, get those Christmas carvings done, you guys. And yes, I mean you. We've got spiral hollows to do, hollow spirals to do, I mean. We've got Santas to do. We've got elves to do. We've got holly leaves to do. We've got mistletoe. Oh, could you imagine what? I would have so much fun if I could travel and have mistletoe. I shall see you guys next week. Have a bloody good week. Get those carvings on the feed. Dana. David, thank you for bringing Hannah to the live. Love your work. Look forward to more of your koala. Saw you did the claws. You know more about koalas than I do. I know those claws. I saw them on my little visitor. Peace to everyone. Yes, have a great night. You carve Satan, not Santa. It's just a misprint. Because you spin in the other direction. I can spin that way. Look, yay! Spin, 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 spin. You got me turning around now. You got me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, round, round, right round. See you lot during the week.